Hey guys and gals and coal miners, it is Real Appalachia with Shane
and Melody.
And here we are coming from Appalachia, Virginia, the only Appalachia in Appalachia, or the United States for the best of my knowledge.
Pretty cool.
You ever been to Appalachia before?
I have not.
Well, we're going to get an education, and it starts right here at the Miners Memorial Park. We'll take a look around here and show you a few things. They got some displays from the glory days of coal mining, which sadly have passed somewhat, but take a look at this. They have a memorial plaque here. What does that say? Can you read that?
God bless all coal miners and their families, those of years past, those who labor today, and those in the years to come.
Good message. Memory of Louis Henniger. And they also have
Established May 1st, 1999.
99. The sign says coal miners help keep America strong, and if you see that plaque at the top, it's Sam Church Jr. He's a local guy from Appalachia, Virginia, who ended up being the president of the United Mine Workers Association from 79 to 82. And the rest of this park has a lot of old coal mining equipment, which this town was built on coal, so it's no surprise to see. We'll get on the road and show you a little bit more of the town, as long as you're ready.
Lizard.
Are you ready?
I am.
A lizard? Oh, wow.
That's where I see the lizard. Aww.
Well, he took off, didn't he?
He did.
Or she. Don't want to assume. Give you another look at the park here.
Appalachia is a town in Wise County, Virginia. The last census that we have available was 2010, and the population was 1,754 at that time. It had been trending down the last few decades. The town is largely intact era town of the late 1800s. It was once a booming coal mining center, the hub of several coal camps, including Andover, Arno, Derby, Rhoda, Imboden, Exeter, Dunbar, Pardee, Osaka, and Sonega. And y'all can attack me for saying those wrong later on. We've got some footage of those towns also coming up for you guys later on.
Yeah.
Several of these coal camps still are intact, with some coal mining equipment on display. Appalachia sprang up as a railroad town after the Louisville and Nashville Railroad and the Southern Railroad made a junction there in 1890. Many of these railroad buildings you can still see in the town.
Here's the bridge where they have a new walking trail. We'll check that out here in just a few minutes, but did want to point that out while we're in the area.
And there on the right is the old schoolhouse. We'll give you a look at that later too.
Yeah, we're just going to cruise down through town like you're kind of used to in our videos probably, and point out a few things that we do see. And just as Melody said, we're going to get to some of these other coal camps later today. Definitely Derby, because it's a really fascinating place for me. And also Osaka, because they still have some pretty cool things from coal mining days to see as well. And I'll probably hit another one or two of those, depending on how much time we have.
Yeah.
But here's Appalachia, and it was a major town, coal town back in this day. It was where railroad stopped there, and there's several hotels. So everybody coming to the area working for Stonegas would stop here, and so it really was a boom town at one time. And a lot of that still remains, and of course some of it has fallen by the wayside, as you can see as well. We just passed the post office. They got a really nice mural in there.
Yeah.
The railroad and coal mining days. So, the downtown area there, as you can see, it's kind of typical of these coal towns. You know, there's not a lot of activity going on. They did knock down some of the old ones and put up a couple murals in a parking lot over there on the left.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this Peak building here in just a few minutes too. It's got a nice history.
It reminds me, this is my first time here, and this reminds me a lot of my hometown of Honeacre. You can tell it was once booming and now kind of forgotten. So it's kind of sad, but pretty and a fun little trip down here so far.
Yeah, I can see where you're saying that. I get the Honeacre vibe about it too now that you mentioned. We'll have to check your hometown out.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, we're getting down to this order. It used to be a grocery store. Looks like it was a safe
down.
Yeah, it's closed down. So Appalachia's not that far from Big Stone Gap, and I think most people travel there for their shopping and that kind of thing. But when you get up to these coal camps, and they're very remote, it takes a pretty good while to get downtown, get health care and that type of thing. So I think that's why you see the populations drop so much since their heydays.
Yeah. Not probably like Honeacre too. Not a lot of jobs offered in the area and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a sad reality. It's a beautiful church on the left. And we're just going to show you a little bit of the residential area to get you an idea of what it was like, well, what it's like now, because there's a lot of beautiful homes still here.
Yeah. You can tell how the houses are kind of close together, that it really was booming at the time that most of these were built, probably. It's like any area they could get to build a house on, they were doing it.
Oh yeah, there's more demand than there was land.
Yeah.
And now those are usually the first ones to go when you come to these towns too. One's up on a hill, and those people abandon those and move to more convenient spots.
Yeah.
Take another turn down through here. Like I said, a lot of people love seeing the residential area, so figured we'd check this out for you. And if you're from Appalachia, maybe I could bring back a few memories for you. We'd love to hear that in the comments. I'd love to hear from people that know these areas much better than we do. We're just visitors and tourists.
Exactly. Yeah, I see what you were saying. A lot of these houses on this side are up on the hill. That would be a rough walk carrying groceries in. I always think of that stuff, like right there. Gosh.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Imagine coming down out in a snowstorm or something.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
It could be a nightmare, but it would say, it's just like a gold rush back then, though. They had so many jobs and so many people coming in, and, and there just wasn't anything established at that point to house those people. So they propped them up. There was a beautiful church there on the left at one time, and it's gone now. I hate that. That's one reason I love doing this, to capture these, because just since I've started doing this, when I come back to these towns, there's always something changed, something gone, some piece of the past that's gone, and it's it just doesn't come back.
Yeah.
And Appalachia is the only Appalachia that there is. Did you know that? And
yes.
Guess how they pronounce it?
Appalachia.
Of course. That settles the debate.
They pronounce it correct. And I read that it was given that name because it sits in the heart of the Appalachian Mountains. So I really like that too.
Yeah, it's a great story for it. So I love that.
Yeah.
That nod to history.
Yeah. So Appalachia is really the heart of Appalachia.
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully they can market that some way. It'd be nice to
that would be great.
Come to the real Appalachia.
Yeah.
Hey, we're a real Appalachia, so that's why we had to come here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How can you call yourself real Appalachia and skip Appalachia?
Yeah.
Now, what if we find out this town's called Appalachia? That would be bad, wouldn't it?
No way.
Somebody get us in the comments. I lived there my whole life. We'll make a stop here in just a minute. We'll go back and check out the walking trail, and then we'll check out the Peak building and tell you a little bit of the history of that, and the Kelly School, I believe it's called, the one-room schoolhouse. I think it's Kelly.
Yeah, I think so. We'll check it out either way.
Well, what you see in front of you is, well, two trolls, but there's one troll that matters, the B-Rock troll. Let me get out of here. Now, Melly can tell you a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so in the late days of the 1800s, The coal workers, the coal miners, and people on the train reported seeing a troll-like creature. They said that it was short, stocky, and had a very ugly face. And they would hear a shrill voice saying, "Come help me, please come help me." And it was reported as recently as 1958 by the Lunsford family, who lived on the point above B Rock, as hearing someone or something calling for help from the woods near the tunnel. So nobody really ever figured out what it was, if it was a friendly creature or a foe. So it's just kind of a mystery. And yeah, they refer to it as the B Rock Troll.
I'm sure if you can read that sign, but it says built by Virginia Bridge and Iron Company, Roanoke, Virginia, 1929. Of course, originally used by the railroad, it is now a walking trail.
This is not the original bridge either. This was installed in 1929 when they upgraded it to handle very heavy coal.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how tempted are you to drop a water balloon on a car?
Not very, I have to say.
As a test.
That might be your immaturity.
I guess, yeah, that's... No, I was asking you. I would never dream of that.
Never.
I was testing your character.
I do want to float the river like we see a couple of people getting ready to do. So, I don't know with all those rocks, but...
It's a little muddy
I think
today,
that would be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a country girl. I'm not afraid of a little bit of mud.
What are you saying? What are you trying to say about me? I'm from Doran, Virginia, and the metropolis.
That's right. You're used to the Clinch River. This is nothing.
Looks about like my drinking water down here. I just love they made us in a walking trail, though. That's great.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot of the Creeper Trail.
Yeah. You can definitely see that, but this is beautiful.
It is.
I love when they repurpose things like this. That, I mean, a lot of people probably want them to tear it down, but
yeah,
man, it's just way too cool.
I agree.
For somebody like us who don't get a chance to get down here very often. Well, let's go for a little hike. What do you say?
Sounds good.
And you hear a train coming through. Virginia Line, Norfolk Southern. Got the old Norfolk and Western train cars on it. That's pretty cool to see.
Yeah. It's a really pretty view.
It was a small one.
Yeah, very short.
All right, we're here at the B Rock Tunnel, and Melody's going to tell you a little bit more about the history of this little joint.
Yes, so it's once known as the shortest tunnel in the world by Ripley's, believe it or not. Now it's reported as the second shortest railroad tunnel, and of course it's not used by the railroad anymore. It's on this lovely walking trail. It's 47 feet 7 inches.
We're going to walk every foot of it.
Yes, we are. We're just hardcore like that.
So strange.
Very cool to be in here.
Oh yeah. The world's shortest railroad tunnel is actually in Damascus, or not Damascus, but Shady Valley down there at Backbone Rock.
Yes, and that is really cool. Really cool place to walk through there
It's
too.
funny how close they are to each other.
Oh yeah, it is. which we were a big railroad and coal community though, so.
Oh, yeah.
And this tunnel was built in 1891 by Louisville and Nashville Railroad. So it's a really cool rock shape. You can see the rock on the inside as you walk through it too. I really love that.
A little prettier on this side, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Cliff, it looks like it just fall right down on you.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I'm calling that pretty, but it could just crush you to bits.
The danger makes it fun.
That's what it is.
Whatever you want to do.
Let's take one more look coming in this way. I mean, what the heck? It may be a whole different viewpoint.
Absolutely.
Maybe different weather when we get to the other side. It might be snowing.
And there's kind of cool.
It's right up from the river and crossing the road. You can kind of sort of see this as you're driving into town if you really know where to look, but it's not overly obvious.
Yeah.
I guess that 47 feet starts from, because you see here, this goes back a little further.
Yeah.
It starts right here, so I'm guessing that's where it starts. What do you say?
Yeah, I think so, because they have the covered part on here now, of course, for the trail. I guess to keep it from falling in on you like you were talking about.
You trust that wood?
I think this is really cool looking.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost looks fake. It looks like you're in a Dollywood ride.
It really does. Kind of reminds me of being in a cavern.
Do you guys remember the old ride where Daredevil Falls is now? It was like you were in a mine tunnel almost, and you
yeah.
floated this little boat.
Flooded mine.
Yeah, that's kind of what it reminds me of.
And you might get out if the mines don't flood. I still remember the music to it.
Yeah, I love that ride.
I did too. It's my favorite. Actually, I like it better than Blazing Fury. Just I don't know, I like the whole scheme.
I can't say that now. I'm Blazing Fury girl. But anyways.
Oh, you like Blazing Fury, yeah. So.
It's a good little look here.
Well, we'll go back there and I'll let you say fire in the hole. And
you know what we need is like a car horn and the lights, flash the lights, you know, like you do driving through tunnels.
Yeah, it'd be perfect.
Yeah. My family always did that.
We need a guy standing there pretending to jump off and saying, you know.
Don't say that. We might see the B-tunnel troll.
Okay.
I don't want to see him today.
I was thinking we get a woman up here pretending to jump off, and then a guy down here named Luther, and we'll make this.
Yeah.
Week back or not, Luther, here I come. Always love that.
I know, I love
Don't
it
get me
too.
started on Blazing Fury.
I love it too.
You come on back here. I want to kiss on you, son.
Kiss. Looks
look
like
like
you been kissing that steam train.
I think we rode it at one time too many. Don't you?
Yeah. Still not enough.
Never enough.
Old power line.
Well,
Looks like we're going off the beaten path here.
yeah, I can't help it. There's a little cave up here that we just got to check out. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe this is where the troll lives.
Could be.
Or by the judging of the glass on there, maybe just where people go to drink. But let's check
true.
it out.
Or maybe it's where bears hang out. Well, maybe this is where the troll hangs out. What do you think?
It looks like somewhere that Gollum lives, honestly.
Perfect. Yeah.
It's not the cave that I thought that it would be.
No, but it's still worth the trip up here, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look at that rock. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it really is.
Now, how did somebody get up here or up there to put their initials in there?
I don't know.
I hate when people do that, but you know, that took some dedication.
It did. I wanted to show Jay how much he cared, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Well, back to the path.
All right, we are looking at the Kelly View School here in Appalachia right now. It's believed to have been built around 1892. Just a little one-room schoolhouse here, and we'll take a look inside here in a minute. It was taken out of service as a school around 1959 or 1960, and then it was turned into a church. So let's take a look inside and see what it looks like.
Let's call it clearing the cobwebs. I usually think of that when somebody's add-ons.
Oh yeah, you see the wood on the walls, the wood on the ceiling. I think from what I read that is all original.
Really?
I think so.
Wow. You said date back to what, 1892?
1892 is when they believe it was built. I guess there's not really hard evidence of that, but that's what they believe.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
Yes. And it's cute that they have it set up like the little one-room school.
You know what I'm going to do?
What's that? Oh no. Supper's ready.
Pencil sharpener?
Yeah.
Hey, an apple. Somebody brought me
And the Holy Bible. Bringing it to school. The good old days.
the good old days.
The good old days. And they've got some pictures hung up of the early days.
Thought that'd be odd to have an indoor bathroom.
Yeah. Not back then, I'm sure.
Well, that's pretty cool. Can you imagine learning in this kind of environment? Those things, you never get around one. My goodness, they'll run you out with the heat.
Oh, yeah, they do. They sure do. I don't think this flooring is original, but I think that the walls and the ceiling probably are.
Good deal. And here's the City Hall. I do have an old picture from it from, I think, 1990. I'll put up here too so you can compare what it looks like today versus then.
All right, here we are standing outside of the Peck building, which also holds a second world record because it has access, street access, to all 4 levels of the building. It was built somewhere around 1925, and that's about all that we know about it. It was kind of hard to find information, so if you know more about the Peck building, then let us know in the comments.
Yeah, it's known as for apartments and also as several different commercial things, such as thrift store now, it looks like, and then antique store, dime store, all kinds of retail. We'll see how many street level entrances we can find. There was one.
And you could walk these steps every day and lose some weight.
There you go.
It's a multi-purpose building. There's 2.
Yep.
All right, starting to get out of breath here.
World's steepest steps. That's another record.
There's 3.
So we've confirmed that. And at the top here.
Some of these steps need some work. A little bit dangerous.
Count that, I don't guess.
No.
You could access it.
And I'm guessing that's 4.
That's it.
But it looks like it's not in service anymore. And that is a risky heat pump.
Yeah, I've seen better days.
It has, and that's sad. It's really a pretty building and it's so interesting, but the way it is now, you wonder how much longer it can stand this way.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the big building. A pretty good view of the downtown area from here.
Looks like an old coal chute. Is that what they were called?
No.
Threw coal in for the heater.
Yeah, that doesn't look that old though, that I see.
Yeah.
Fun of it, so there used to be a bunch of buildings that were kind of gutted.
Mm-hmm.
I think they caught fire and whatnot, and they flattened them and made them into a parking spot.
Yeah.
It's kind of a thing for me. It's like, obviously it looks better, safer now, but there was something about little bits of history that were standing too, you know?
Yeah.
I'm kind of torn on all that stuff.
And they have some murals painted on there now, looks like.
Let's get a shot of that and not get killed. Okay. Well, that's a look at the Peck building. So we're going on down the road here. Okay, and that'll wrap up our look at Appalachia, Virginia. So what did you think, Melody, of your first trip to Appalachia?
Yeah, it was an interesting look at an old coal town. It's sad to see that these towns decline, but still there's a lot to see in these small towns.
Yeah, they've all got their own unique story. Like, of course, the apartment building, the Peck building, the Miners Park. They got a little thing, the school, the trail. So there's a lot of reasons somebody would want to come and check it out.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the trail. It was a nice little walk and really interesting.
Yeah, so just because something's kind of a small town, sometimes there's a lot of things to see and do, and they're well worth taking a look, especially if you're interested in history and that type of thing too, or outdoor activities.
Yep, absolutely. So if you enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, share, and if you haven't subscribed, do that now.
It's a little slow on the draw with my thumbs up, but anyway. We'll see you guys on down the road. Thanks.